Good morning, guys. So, well, first off, you can see a fly trap here. Flies have been terrible, but I think got them under control. And this trap is full. I was supposed to get some of those ranch fly traps that I got last year when I was living there at Jared's house. And they reached out, but they haven't sent me any. So we went with this, and it's working great. But I got a lot going on this tiny house build. I'm gonna start putting the poles in here and or beams, whatever. It's gonna be, the cedar post, just like this. And I need to do one right there, and then over there. I need to build the porch out that way, and then I need to, this behind me right here, the white. I'm putting stone there, and that's gonna be interesting. So I figured I'd ask you guys that. Do I put that cement backing board there, or do I just put the mesh like I did on here and then cement the rock on there, or mortar or whatever? I don't know. Let me know. But that's a question I need answered, because I'm going to be working on that ASAP. But I got a lot going on there, and I started thinking, did I do the right thing? And should I have just gone tiny house? Should I have just gone, tiny house or shed to house? And because, Melissa wants to do the tiny house or shed to house thing, so it got me thinking, because I started clearing and all that stuff, and I was just like, oh man, should I have just gone shed to house? It would have been a lot easier. But no, I'm glad I did tiny house, because it's taught me a whole lot, what to do and what not to do on the foundation, how to frame up, not to bite off more than you could chew, how to do the roof. We did the metal on the roof a little bit wrong. So yesterday I was at Sawyer Ridge Farms house, and we were processing chickens. Well, one of their friends showed up, and he builds either houses or sheds or something of that nature with the Amish. And of course the Amish are just absolutely amazing at everything they do. And we did the metal on the roof wrong. It's not gonna hurt anything. It just should have been done a little bit different. So learned something on that. And I never would have learned that if we did a shed to house that was already done. So you guys know that I already did a shed to house on Jared's property. We did the 16 by 50, and I'm glad we did that, because I learned a lot before coming over here and doing this. It gave me the confidence to do the tiny house. So that's the beauty of that. So it depends on your skill level, in my opinion. So if you have some building experience, you probably could build from the ground up, and it would really be an awesome thing for you to do. You can get what you want, exactly what you want, build it how you want. But if you don't have the experience, I would stick with shed to house. And I think a lot of people are jumping over to shed to house right now, and tiny houses and alternative living, because this country ain't doing that great right now with everything going on. Let's be real. So the economy is kind of going down. Our president had it up, but now it's going down. I think it'll go back up once all this stuff kind of blows over. But as of right now, it's not doing so great. So people lost their jobs. People are tight on money, and sometimes they have to get out of these bigger houses. So the option of tiny house or shed house is becoming reality for a lot of people, and things of that nature. Or you could be like Dutch. Dutch is trying to go off grid, and he lives in an amazing house right now. It's nice, it's big, it's awesome. Some of you guys have seen the videos. I've been, lucky enough to go there and see in person. It's an amazing house. But even he said, this was before all this stuff even happened, because when I first moved up, we were talking, and he said, yeah, I've wanted to downsize because it's just a little too big for what we want. And, it's great. He loves the house. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, they found out real quick that they all hang out together, and they don't need all this extra space. And so he is building, well, he's not there yet. He just got the property, he's clearing it, and he's going to build a new house and stuff there. But he might go a little bit small in the beginning. He might buy an RV, he might do shed to house, he might do a little barn-dominium again, pole barn, or he might go straight to the bigger house. Not as big as what he's in, he's going to go smaller, but even he's wanting to go, downsize or whatever. And then even my parents have said, for the longest time since all of us have been out, they have a whole upstairs that is just unused unless we're there. And unfortunately, we don't get to visit a lot. So they've wanted it. They've thought about downsizing before. So I think a lot of people are starting to realize that they have a lot more than they really need, so they can downsize. So shed to house and tiny house are awesome options. And uh, being in the YouTube world, shed to house world and stuff, I know a lot of people that have done it, and I know way more people that say they should have done it a long time ago than they regret it. I personally don't know anyone that said they regret going smaller, if that says anything. I mean, I don't know if that means anything to anyone else, but to me, that just proves that, you know, you could go smaller. It's not that bad. And I think the biggest thing is you want to get rid of the stuff that you don't have or that you don't need. And so that's the hard part. And you start thinking, well, I mean, I haven't used this in a while, but I could really utilize this. My theory is if I haven't used it in 3 months, throw it to the curb. I don't need it. And there's things up here that I have that I brought that I haven't really used since I've moved here. I brought it because I thought, oh, I might need it. This is mine. And I got it out of Jared's house. Well, it's just been sitting here. Now, it's different if winter clothes, stuff like that, completely different. That's not what I'm talking about. But, you may have, let's just say you like to watch movies and you have DVDs. Well, you have 800 DVDs, but you only watch a DVD once a month. So do you really need 800 DVDs? No. So now you're just storing a whole closet full of DVDs for no reason. Especially now in the world we live in, where you can watch everything on Netflix or YouTube or whatever pirated website you get on and watch. You don't need stuff like that. So another thing that I had to deal with when I was still with somebody was, hey, you need to downsize your clothes. The big thing with me is, instead of having 20 pairs or 20 whole outfits of clothes, why not get 10? Cut it in half, get 10. You can wear the 10 over and over, so you could do that. And then when you're tired of that, then say you take out one whole outfit, get rid of it, donate it, and buy a whole new outfit. So you actually can get more in and just, rotate them, but you're only keeping 10 outfits. That way, it's not you have a closet full of clothes or shoes. I know dudes that have literally like 20 pair of shoes, and I'm like, why? I personally don't get it. I get it with them. They want to, one for each outfit, whatever. Me, I got these boots down there, and I got one pair of like $5 Walmart shoes that I run in, or I wear them down the river, and I have flip-flops. And then I have a new pair of snake boots in Dallas that I need to go pick up at Jared's house. But other than that, I don't have 50 pairs of shoes. And these boots actually come in handy. I need them. I wear them every day. It's a necessity, not an accessory. So I think that's the thing that a lot of people have trouble with, is getting rid of their junk, and that's why they don't want to go tiny. You're probably in debt. Let's just say that. So I would rather be debt-free, living in a tiny house and a shed to house, and doing that. Like Jared just paid off his shed. He no longer has a payment. That's saving $700 a month in his pocket, that now he could pay off his credit card. Add that $700 a month on that, knock that out, and then he just has a car payment. Then he could put all that money that he was putting into his house, his credit card, onto his car, knock the car out before he's 40 years old, be completely debt-free. I'm very lucky on my end that I am building the tiny house on my budget. I don't have a credit card. I don't believe in credit cards anymore. When I was younger, ruined my credit. I got them and I bought stuff that I shouldn't have bought. I ruined my credit, and now I don't have credit cards. I haven't had a credit card in probably, I don't know, 5 to 7 years now. And if I don't have the money for it, I don't get it. And that's how I'm doing the tiny house build, is if I don't have the money, I don't buy it. And that really puts you on a tight budget, because you're not spending, let's say, $500 a month on a credit card, but you're paying $35 for the minimum payment. Guess what? That adds up quick. you'll never pay off a credit card doing minimum payments, and it's just not worth it. So this house, I could walk away right now and I owe $0. It wouldn't be finished, but I owe $0 in the house. And to me, that's the way to do it. Now, if you're building a $200,000 house, $250,000 house, it's a little different. That's why I prefer tiny houses, shed house. Shed house, you can go get a small shed, say 10 by 16, pay $200 a month, put whatever money you have into it, so you're not going into debt. Even on a fixed income, you can afford $200 for your house payment, and then say you only make $600 a month, put $200, $400 into the house, use the rest for gas, food, whatever, you can make it work. So even on a tight budget, you could do shed to house if you get rid of your bills. This is another thing. Get rid of your cable. Get rid of your internet. Get rid of your crazy cell phone bills that are super expensive. Dumb it all down. I haven't had cable in probably 10 years. I saved money. Internet. We had internet when we lived in the Dallas area, don't get me wrong. That's how I make a living, on the internet. But out here, I can't get internet. But if you could throttle it down to maybe not the highest speed, throttle it down a little bit, save a little bit of money. When you become debt-free, throttle it back up. And that way it's not a big deal. But you have to learn to cut little things out. Don't eat out. Only eat out maybe once a month instead of once a week. That alone will save you money, especially if you're going to like a decent restaurant and you know you're spending $20 a person plus tip. That could really add up, especially if you have a family. So there are ways that you can do it how bad you want it. That's the way I see it. So shed house, tiny house, is it for everyone? No. Is it for a lot of people now because the economy is kind of not doing so great? Yes, because they're out of jobs, they're out of all the stuff, because of all the stuff going on in the world that they couldn't control. You cannot control that yourself. So you're kind of stuck. Do I go into a lot of debt to keep the house I'm in? Or do I get out or out of my apartment or whatever and go buy some land, get a tiny house, shed? You could do it. So it's hard, but how bad do you want it? So hopefully this helps somebody out there. Maybe someone's on the fence of, I don't know what to do. Should I do it? Should I get a tiny house? Should I get a shed house? These are just my thoughts. Take it or leave it. That's just the way I see things. But hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.